In the San Diego Union Tribune, there's a lot of good stuff that's being said there. I know Dennis Lynn in The Athletic wrote a piece. Um, Listening to the radio, Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, John Schaefer, Jim Russell, San Diego Sports 760, Darren Smith, Marty Caswell, Woodsy, Ben, Quintera, just everyone. There's a lot of good things that are being said. And social media sometimes can be a negative place, but I've seen a lot of positive things on there, and I'm happy to be seeing that. Buster Olney, he wrote a piece in ESPN today, on ESPN, and part of it involved Trey Turner and Peter Seidler. Before this past season, in the offseason, we knew that the Padres were interested in signing Trey Turner, giving him a long-term contract. Former Padre in the organization before the Padres dealt him, and Peter wanted him. He was willing to go more than what he offered. The Padres offered more to Trey Turner than he got from the Phillies. He ended up signing with the Phillies. He wanted to sign with the Phillies. But I'm going to read this here. I posted this on social media at Talking Friars, and Buster says here, when Trey Turner made his final decision to sign with the Phillies over the Padres, he felt he owed it to Seidler to call him directly, and the shortstop braced for the response. But Seidler worked to make Turner feel better, warmly and graciously accepting his decision, offering some parting words that reflected the perspective of someone who had been in a love affair with baseball his whole life. We're in this together, Turner said Seidler told him, to grow this great game. Some owners might have been pissed off at Trey Turner, might have never spoke to him again. But Peter showed to Trey Turner how much he wanted to win for San Diego, and Trey Turner appreciated that. And that makes me love Trey Turner. Him feeling like he owed it to Peter to call him directly, tell him his decision. And this wasn't, Trey Turner signing with the Phillies over the Padres was not anything like, oh, I don't like Peter Seidler or anything like that. It was nothing like that for Trey Turner. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but that's sure what this story seems like here. He appreciated what Peter Seidler was doing here for the city of San Diego. He just had his mindset on where he wanted to go. So it was nothing against the Padres, but that's just a great story that I saw from Buster Olney involving Trey Turner, showing the type of person, again, that Peter Seidler was. This is Bryce Miller in the UT. I recommend you go check out the Union Tribune and what they have going there, honoring Peter Seidler. Miller writes here, darkness had swallowed up the 7-Eleven along Mission Boulevard in Pacific Beach. It was after 11 p.m. on a weeknight when the tourists scatter and those without homes turn up collars and blankets to fend off the bracing ocean cold. Mixing among them was the owner of a Major League Baseball team who at the time was the face of the $1.5 billion Seidler Equity Partners. While others scrambled to other sidewalks and parts of the street, Peter Seidler began conversations offering compassion and empathy. He snapped up hot dogs for men sitting on the sidewalk out front, the forgotten and disconnected. That's who Peter was. A lot of late night walks. And Bryce Miller said here in this article that he went on those walks a little bit with Peter. Didn't tell people about it. Respect it. Like Peter, I believe Peter said in here that he wanted it to remain anonymous, didn't want it out there. But now that Peter's gone, Bryce wants to spread, I should say, that positivity. But yeah, late night, 11 p.m. At 7-Eleven, getting hot dogs and giving it to the homeless. Thinking about others. There's plenty of owners in sports, rich people. 11 o'clock at night, maybe they'd be partying. Maybe they'd just be sitting in their big mansion, going to sleep in, their huge bed. But Peter was just different. A great human being. Someone that cared about others. And I don't even know if I was talking with Peter right now and I said, you treated people the way you wanted to be treated, I don't even know if he would respond like, oh, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm not treating people the way I want to be treated. I'm just treating people the way I think people should be treated, if that makes sense. Because maybe some people are like, no, I'm going to treat someone good, hoping that something good comes back to me in return. But I think Peter would probably say, no, I just treated others well, less fortunate, as fortunate, Padres fans, whoever. I just treated you just because I treated you well because you're another human being. That's why. I wasn't expecting something great back in return. I just did it because that's the right thing to do. So again, going back to what we should learn from Peter, do the right thing. Not do something for the money or because you want something, but do it just because that's the right thing to do. So, Peter, love you. Seidler family, love you. Like I said the other day, that championship's going to come, and Peter's hopefully going to be smiling on down when that day comes. No doubt it's going to come at some point. We'll see. We'll see when it comes.